Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our fourth episode of Soulful Conversations. We have Dinesh, Purabi, Sudha, and myself, Sindhu, joining the space today. A lot of things have changed since we last met. We lost two legendary people in the music industry, Lata ji and Bappida. I don't think I think many of us associate so many of our life memories with so many songs of Lataji's songs, and Bappi Da is like the disco king, and so energetic, such beautiful songs. So we thought we'll just have a song from Lataji. This is a very beautiful song, also sung by Kishore Kumar, but her soothing voice brings in a very different emotion. And also with just the current situation with the world politics today, we thought we could just use this space to pause, be ourselves, share, and just be in the zone. So here, let's begin. I'm just going to play the song.
Sure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Looking forward to an amazing session.
Is it audible?
No,
not yet.
Now?
Yes.
Should we just talk about the first pair and see?
Yeah, so beautiful, right? Anand Bakshi has written the lyrics and told us. 1972, right?
Oh, you know the. You
No,
said it's a beautiful movie.
yeah, it's a movie, Pia Ka Ghar. Jaya Bajri is there in it, and it's a beautiful story of a couple living within a joint family and the whole thing that they go through. I mean, you see the video, which actually you see Kishore Kumar in the background, so singing. So the essence is, I mean, everyone can relate to it. That there is gum, there is khushi, there is love, there is peace, there's fight, there is sadness. Everything comes together, and I think that's the essence. And what things Sudha mentioned earlier is it's all about embracing the moment and going with the flow. I think that's the essence of the first few lines, but so beautifully sung by Lata. I mean, well, I'm so used to listening to this song on on Spotify with Kishore Kumar singing, but when I heard this, I didn't know that I also sang this song. It is just so beautiful. It invokes a lot of thoughts, some sadness, but some, then you need to look up to what the essence of the song is. So lots to take away from it.
You know, the whole thing when I was just listening to the song, the whole idea of polarities, right? That kind of stood out for me. What is the value of joy without sadness? Or it's like, what is the value of success without failure? If everything is successful, will you value that success so much? It's only because there is a possibility of failure that when we succeed, we are even more happy, is what I think. If we know we are going to succeed, will we be so happy all the time?
Yeah.
That brings me not just this pair of opposites, about everything, right? If there was no darkness, will we even value light? And what is music without silence?
Absolutely.
So beautiful.
So just, yeah. So, and this question always keeps coming to me. Why do we want to avoid one of the polarity and always look forward for the other one? Actually, it is because this exists, there is value in this.
There's unity in polarity.
Yeah.
And how simply stated, right? I think that is the beauty of the song. Like very, very simple words, but such deep meaning of what life is all about, and the balance and accepting life, in its totality, in its just making each aspect of life yours, and respecting it for what it is, the kind of learnings it brings to you, or the kind of joys it brings to you. It's so beautiful.
So these lines, उसे अपना लो जो भी जीवन की रीत है. So you said acceptance, and another word that resonates with me is surrender to it. Just surrender to it. And also there's this line, har pal ek darpan hai. Like we so much talk about mirror, how coaches are mirror. So every moment in our life can be used to reflect and to learn. It's a very wise, such a wise thing to say. And
lots of it. Sometimes we get so engrossed with our own lives, and even when we know what is there in front of us, we somewhere are still lost in the whole thing. And that's what this says: "Visit chodo, you na todo." Right? Arpa lik darpan. So it brings us back to reality, to face it, face the fears, and do it, or face the and take the happiness along with it, and then work towards it. So it's all about, it's there in front of us. How much do we really see it and take it forward? It's I think that's one of my learnings, right? That live the moment.
Live the moment and
Yeah.
Love it in its entirety, whatever comes along. Like there's dhoop, there's cha, there's something good, something not so great. But I think every thing which is not so great is an opportunity for us to learn from there and evolve to next level. So, instead of thinking, why did this happen to me, or why is it this way? So one thing for me, what I could resonate is, what am I learning from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? It cannot be always sunshine. There'll be rainy days too. So what am I supposed to change in myself? Yeah.
In fact, when you say that, Sindhu, I'm just reflecting. It is only in those testing times or in those uncomfortable zones or those disruptions, those moment of transitions, do we even expand? Yeah, right? Do we even get to know our potential? When the status quo is normal, like when you say everything is good, comfort zone. I don't remember when I recollect my life, I expanded or I learned anything new. It's only in those transition moments.
True.
Right? You find a new aspect about yourself. There is something expanding, something you're exploring.
True.
You said that, Sudha. So I'll just tell you my example. Last year, when I was going through this journey of learning how to coach, right? I was free like a bird. And then talking to so many of my friends, clients, whoever I was coaching. And I was very happy with every conversation I did with them, right? It gave me a sense of belief that I can do it. And today, when I'm on the other side of the table, right? I'm joined by corporate life. And I feel so stressed doing work at so many times. And I'm trying to coach myself the way I coach people. And I'm not able to. So this song again makes me remember that, listen, you are in transition. Things will happen. You have to accept, you have to go. Don't be harsh on yourself. This is life, accept it and move it. As much as it's so simple, but the practice of that is becomes so difficult. I mean, that's something that is continuously troubling me right now, and I need to figure out how to address it. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Dinesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand that feeling. I think all of us do.
How do I coach myself, right? Sometimes I think about it.
But I think that's great awareness in you, right? Saying that and this is so difficult. I've done this with others, but when I go through, this is so difficult. That's a great level of awareness. And I think you might have told others, I think you need to be kind on yourself. And then now you're struggling. How can I be kind on myself? How can I be understanding of myself?
Dhoop hai, chhaav hai.
Yeah.
As Sindhu just mentioned.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next?
Sure. To me, the takeaway is what we all discussed earlier is is the important thing of having the environment around us, right?
Support system.
Exactly. सांसों की डोर बंधी है प्रीतम के प्यार से. Whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's your own spouse, the entire thing. I mean, that's what it is. That's what carries us forward.
Yeah.
That's very beautifully sung and explained also in the lyrics. Really awesome.
So it's something like something more tangible, something intangible. Ghar se na dunya, materialistic versus something material, something spiritual, or something not so material. When we talk about love, affection, support, and things like that, there's so much energy, and there's so much you get out of these kind of relationships. So for me, if I have to expand it, this para seems very personal in the context of the movie. But if I have to expand it, I'm looking at my environment, like, you take the systemic view in, my immediate environment, my coaching community, how it plays a role, and it's a bond, it's a commitment, it's something that goes beyond the tangible things that we want in life, and helps me grow, helps me evolve, yeah.
You want to add in anything, maybe?
I think for me, this is just a reinforcement of some of the things that we were doing a session on values today, and what was standing out as really core to me as values, in terms of the relationships, the trust, the support, all of that. So I'm kind of just seeing a reflection of all of that we did this morning, thinking through our values and what our priorities are, and what is it that really defines us. Because I think it's only when I got started on this coaching journey is there was there was a distinction in, I don't introduce myself, or I don't need to introduce myself by what I do. My introduction is who I am, and who I am is not defined by what I do at work or what I do elsewhere. It's just defined by the values that are core to me, and things that are truly the essentials for me to live life. And it's such a beautiful reinforcement of that. And I think I recall now, when you were saying initially about Jaya Bhaduri, I was not able to place. I've seen this movie. Now I recall, yes, it was a joint family, and not very well off, but those things did not matter. Those things did not come in the way, because they just felt they are so rich with each other's love and each other's presence in their lives was like enough. That relationship was the true asset, and they were ready to see through any hardships that were coming their way, because they felt supported, and they felt that that connect with the real thing. So yeah, beautiful. I think it's getting deeper and deeper as we get into the different paras. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Sindhu, you spoke about the tangible, intangible, or the material and spiritual versus, I don't know, suddenly this thought came to me. All these material aspects, whether it's money or your lifestyle or other tangible things, they're all very finite, it looks like to me, right? But whereas the other aspect of this trust, this relationship, this support system you're talking about, it feels very abundant and it's infinite, not necessarily only through just your family. Like, for instance, now we four are here. You spoke about how much you derive from the coaching community. And if I were to just, run my life from my childhood till now, it's been abundant, right? This trust, the safety, the support system, the relationship, how many people, how many groups, how many part of the systems I've been in. And it feels abundant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
While you were sharing that, the thought of how nature operates just came to my mind. So I lived in Gurgaon for a couple of years, a lot more years, and we had a backyard where I tried to garden, grow some vegetables. I just had to do it once. I planted the seeds and it yielded fruits, not fruits, vegetables. Flowers may not be so much, but it yielded so much. I mean, I was just watering it. Sometimes I used to forget to water, but how giving is it? How, and it gives in abundance, doesn't ask for much actually. So, and as humans, how much we hold back, how many conditions we add to relationship and things that we surround us with. So that was a revelation for me. God, it asks so less from us and it gives so much in abundance to us. And it's just a thought that came to me because you use the word abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, the whole definition of abundance and infinite love is epitomized by my dog. When, it was during the pandemic that we adopted him. He was a baby, 45 days old, just turned an adult last month. And, it's like, what does he need from us? He poor thing, like this morning when I was in the class, sometimes he does kind of get into the playful mode and wouldn't allow me to focus. So I had my door shut. Entire duration he was outside the door. Oh. No complaints when I open the door. It's just that hug, that just rubbing to, okay, come, let's play kind of a mood. And the amount of love and the amount of just I can't even define. It's like, for me, this is one relationship where there is no expectation. And he's forever, he's ready to just give. And, he, poor thing, he can even barely express himself to say, I need this or I need that. But, just spend that 5 minutes with him, like on a very crazy scheduled day. At the end, before I get to bed, I realized I've begun to realize that, he just needs those 15-20 minutes with me alone out in the balcony. If I have not done that and I have come to sleep and I'm asking him to sleep, he will not, because he feels I'm shared with the two kids who are right here trying to grab my attention. And, but when I'm with him out there, he's peaceful. He'll just keep looking up that I'm there, and he's on his own. But he needs that 15-20 minutes, and that's it. But the amount of, love and, just selfless love and unconditional love he's given us in return, I think he's actually changed so much in our family. So much. And like I quote his example a lot of times when I say my husband was completely averse to pets, and so it had taken me and my son almost a year and a half to convince him that we'll bring one home, and don't worry, okay, you don't have to, like, don't have to get worried or do anything. We'll figure it out. And I remember those first initial few months, his discomfort, because not that he,
not that he was scared or anything, but he had never had a pet or never imagined having pets. And this boy has wooed him so much that today the first person he calls out to when he enters the house, when he wakes up in the morning, is Sammy. And you know, even my son has started complaining, Papa, mujhe to good morning nahi bolte, but Sammy. So, I mean, how much of change that can bring about in people when you're also in that mode of, you know, none of these tangible materialistic things really matter, but just how much you're connecting and just how much you're giving in that connection with people. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Wow. I could just imagine myself having a dog. Me and my husband both love dogs, but we don't have one. We don't, you know. But you know, it's so. Thank you for sharing that, Purabi. It's so interesting how we started with accepting life, surrendering to the polarities that life brings, and then now we're talking about abundance and how much nature and animals and even kids teach us, and there's so much we can give. You know, there's so much within us that we can give. It's just, you know, so I'm telling myself I'm capable of giving more. That's where I am right now. You know, that's what I could gather from this whole conversation if I have to kind of sum it up for myself. What
I just want to add to what Purbi said. We've been pet parents for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
In the park, then I have a golden retriever now.
Wow.
My Goldie Maya. Throughout, I said this in our, when I did my foundations, the coaching journey. All those 3 hours every week, she would be under my table. And the day the graduation happened, I brought her on the camera and I said, "Listen, please give her an award as well." She's been with me throughout those sessions. She's just at peace. She'll slide down at my feet. She just wants me. I mean, the world is. Sometimes I find it very difficult to explain it to people to what impact pets bring to your life. I know we are deviating a little bit, but yes, talking about abundance, the love is just unexplainable sometimes. And I don't even want to use the word loyalty because it's so abused in the way these God-made creatures are, but they are super. Yeah. And so again, for us, looking at it from that perspective of the song itself, थोड़ी धूप है थोड़ी छाँव है. So here's where COVID was happening, but we had her who was always around us to be there, right? And going through tough times, whatever all of us have gone through in the last few years.
It's so interesting, right? The word acceptance and abundance and this unconditional thing. We're talking about pets. I have no experience of having a pet, but I have a lot of friends who have pets. Right? And every time when they talk about this unconditional thing, and when all of you were talking about the joy that it brings to you, right? I think this thing came to my mind. I think the presence they have for us, right? When you're with them. I think that makes it really unconditional. That makes it really so accepting. That makes it abundant. They're just there for you. When you said, it's just there outside that 3 hours. So it didn't live in the past when you came there saying that, why were you not with me? It is like, now you're with me, I'm there with you. Let's enjoy.
Yeah.
Right? So, that kind of stood out for me. Probably presence. That's what makes it so beautiful.
Wow. Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sindhu, for bringing us together today. Truly, truly a soulful conversation. Maybe a little digressed, but yeah.
I think we all got together. We were wanting this to happen, I guess. So we made it happen.
Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, Sindhu, for also selecting that song. One,
Thanks.
it's not just a dedication to Lataji, but it's also a true reflection of many things that one goes through life. So I think this conversation actually takes us deeper into those thinking, while which brings out a lot of love, emotions, fun, etc. So thank you. It was, I think, a beautiful selection.
Thank you so much, everyone. Purabi, Sudha, Dinesh. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the space and time. Loved it.
Thank you.